Howdy, all of you delicious people. Today I'm here to do Saints Row the Third, another episode with John Wick. I had just seen John Wick Chapter 3, and I might be talking about that a little bit on here. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody who hasn't seen it yet. I rented it off of a Redbox, which if people don't know what that is, it's a place that you can conveniently in several locations rent movies and what have you that are fairly recent releases. Anyways, if people who are watching this video and it's just like, hey, this is not what I came here for, whatever. At the end of the day, I don't know if this series is going to continue. It would be great if every series that I ever did just blew everything out of the water and whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm just here to just really take this episode and kind of do some house cleaning. There's been several pre-recorded things that I've just had sit on my channel. This ended up being one of those where I just never had the time to sit down and record a video of this, of the footage that I already had. So it's been sitting on here for I don't know how freaking long, and I just wanted to get this out there. Put another video out, and without a doubt, it may or may not be something you'll see again. I don't know. It depends on if there's interest there. It depends on if people want to see it. If they want to go back to 1 through 4 and watch all those episodes and then watch this one, say, I want this series to continue. There has to be a lot of people to justify that, but at the end of the day, yeah, we're just doing some house cleaning. I'm getting some interesting stuff out there, but then I'm also doing some house cleaning. So people are just like, I don't like that he's doing this. At the end of the day, it's just one day of me doing something. So maybe there's something you are gonna like tomorrow that you didn't like today, so on and so forth. But at the end of it all, I might not be a consistent YouTuber. Let's just say that. So I try to be. There was a point where I was consistent, but I'm probably starting to be more like Jacksepticeye, to where not the family friendly Jack. Why am I even talking so long about all this? It doesn't really matter. So anyways, let's get on with another episode of this. But yeah, I had seen John Wick Chapter 3. Really good. That series is getting better with time. Really it is. Like I thought John Wick, the first one, was just so like, man, you could really buy the story. And the second one was just kind of like, okay, man, they're doing a lot of stunts in this movie. Like, could we go back to, like, John Wick going through and killing some people? And then in the third one, man, do they do that. And they do that a lot. And man, are these, like...
If we're going to get a cash flow going, we'll need a business to funnel us money.
You want to rob some store?
That'll cause more problems than it's worth. I'm saying we buy one from the Morning Star.
Because they'll jump at the chance to sell to us.
Nope. Because we already have the deed.
Come again?
We take the deed from the lockbox and purchase the store in our name instead.
Well, if they can't argue.
I really like this portion of the game. It kind of reminded me of Fable 2, where you can start like buying every single building in the game, and then that will eventually start. That money will start coming to you, and to where you can easily buy things easier and quicker in the store. But if anything, John Wick review.
We headed to friendly fire.
Yep. Best thing is, owning it gives us a discount.
Oh, fuck, I love discounts.
It's on the channel. You can check it out. Without a doubt, it's going to be...
This city's full of businesses and buildings we can snatch up.
And we got the muscle to take whatever we need.
Right. Though we're going to need Steelport on our side, too. Drive around and see if we got any fancy.
It's going to be combined with 2 other movies, but I enjoyed those 2 movies as well. the new Disney Aladdin movie, and Brightburn. So 3 movies combined together. So that was. I really enjoyed Brightburn. You guys
To
haven't.
explain this, Pierce.
Oh, that? A little hobby of mine.
Just forget I asked.
Shit, I don't mean like that. They're collectible. You're supposed to try and find them all.
Right.
You're not making it better, mate. What other goodies were in the box?
An apartment building.
I thought you just got a new flat.
Brick and mortar, baby. Real estate is cheap.
Taking money away from the syndicate. Not a bad plan.
If anyways, I try to make this a let's play, so every like the driving is left in. At the end of the day, it's just why not really legitimately leave it in, because some of the driving stuff has story in it.
I've seen Morningstar all over the city doing deals and shit.
So they'll be easy to find.
We wipe them off a corner, they'll think twice about coming back.
But yeah, I don't know, at the end of the day, I've done so many Saints Row things through the time, and to look at some of these videos, and some of them just still to this day have gone really well, or people have just enjoyed them. At the end of the day, if I had, like,
That's not sorted.
it all depends on having so much less time on my hands to do, because I want to do certain things. I feel pressure to do certain kinds of things, so at the end of the day, a lot of things just fall to the wayside. But yeah, people might be saying it's like, why not? Why did you stay in the car for so long? For some reason, whenever I would play this part of the game, I would always stay in the car and I would kill a bunch of people while driving the car, and it always worked out in the level for some reason, the numerous times that I've played it. So I always stuck to killing people in the car. Come on, John Wick.
There are more of them, right?
Yeah, up to the north.
And now we have to get into a car that is kind of sandwiched here. There we go. How do we get out?
Yeah, I'm a badass.
How do we get out? The movie. In a city where it was so really small of an area to drive through. These people drive through it anyways. The roads are so inconvenient that everyone just drives in front of everyone. And just makes it really hectic to where you gotta do levels. In levels? Oh, I mean, parts of story. I don't know why I like handguns so much in this game. I think it's much easier to walk around and kill things, much more so than the machine guns and stuff like that. I don't like spray guns, like machine guns or whatever. A lot of the times when I would play this, I would play, guns that are either,
Bit of a tight spot here.
Head to
like,
friendly fire. That should get them to back off.
Why?
Because we own it. So we got boys protected. Any place the Saints own should be able to take the heat off you.
Good to know.
it's a safe zone. Yeah, I'm gonna take this car because my car is really banged up. And now I'm banging up my own car, legitimately. The car that I'm driving. It's okay, we won't need it for very long. Guy flying out of the car. But yeah. What was I going with here? So I was mentioning something about the game, and then I had to stop. Oh yeah, talking about guns that I use. I always like to use the either really super unique weapons and unique guns and whatever, or just handguns, because at the end of the day, I usually like mostly like dual like pistols. I don't really care for like machine guns. Because if anything, I'm usually looking for the most accurate guns, and machine guns are never really that accurate. No matter what kind of level, par, whatever they end up being. I either like handguns or like sniper kind of weapons. That's my bread and butter, and at the end of the day, those probably aren't people's favorites. Maybe so, maybe not. I don't know, but yeah. Next episode. Next episode. Well, not next. I'm not gonna wrap this up now. It's just if you saw the little clip there, every 10 minutes. Because for Xbox One, I can only record 10-minute intervals. So yeah, you're gonna see little things slip in to where.
Blowing shit up?
Go on, I'm all ears.
Found the route the Morningstar uses to deliver their goods buried in the syndicate files.
You say we drop a few pipe bombs under them?
Fuck that. I'm saying we use a tank.
This may be the best idea you've ever had.
Yeah, one thing to let everybody know, for this motorcycle, never really good at it. I just grabbed it because it was easily there, but at the end of the day, I'm probably the worst at this motorcycle. If anything, I guess you could like say, since this is kind of like a very much more crotch rocket kind of Japanese style kind of motorcycle, I'm, I guess, a little bit better at the American ones. The American style, I guess. But yeah, I suck at those kind of things. I would probably much rather drive a car than a motorcycle. But it's whatever the game ends up giving you first is what I end up taking. But here's a level where I just blow some crap up. Then I'll have a goal to reach. And I'll show the goal so that way you guys can see me closely getting towards it. I apologize if it's really loud. But, yeah. A lot of mayhem. That's why, kind of, if anything, I really wanted there to be a, I really wanted there to be a Fight Club game that was, like, I wanted there to be a Fight Club game, and really you could do Fight Club like you could do this game. Basically, it's almost the same thing. It could be a sequel to Fight Club. That's why I kind of like this game a lot, because it kind of felt to me like what the sequel to Fight Club could possibly be. But yeah. I don't know why. Like, I think a lot of the times when I started to play this in the beginning, I always played it,
Thought
we already were.
Oh, not like this. You've been personally selected for a spot on a game show here in town.
Game show? You're not trying to auction me off on some dating thing, are you?
Trust me, you'll love this shit. Meet me and I'll show you.
You better be right.
Yeah, first when I started playing this, I always played it as Brad Pitt, aka Tyler Durden from Fight Club. If anything, admittedly, I actually did one episode on this channel where I played as most of the characters from Fight Club as much as I could customize and get the right looks of people. That wasn't with commentary, but it was just really fun to get that out there because it's like, yes, I can basically do.
Hello, Steelport, and welcome to Professor Genki's Super Ethical Reality Climax.
Time to see how the game is played.
Fight your way through Professor Genki's Super Sparkle Lab for fun and profit.
Now, with every man, woman, and tiger shot, your prize money goes up. Look out. No one likes it when you shoot a panda.
Unethical.
Once you've collected enough money, the door to the lab opens up and you're free to go.
But if you think it's that easy, you've never seen Kinky before.
Oh, and one more thing. On this show, no one gets to take a break. If you want to stay in the fight, be sure to shoot the first aid target.
Good luck. It's murder time. Fun time.
I thought it was kind of funny the characters on here because one of the voices is Rob Van Dam from WWE or ECW fame.
Genki's Super Ethical Reality Climax. Murder time is fun time, right, Bobby?
You got it, Zach. If our contestants can survive the deadly traps, armed mascots, and those freakishly huge hunters, they can win a hefty pile of cash.
But yeah,
It looks deadly because it is, but it's still probably safer than driving in Steelport.
Our competitor isn't from Steelport this time, Zach. Today, we'll be watching the leader of the Saints, the world-famous Stillwater Street Gang.
As many times as this former gangbanger has been shot at, blown up, run over, and generally put through hell, this competition probably seems pretty routine.
Routine maybe, but lucrative. You are going to make Professor Genki-sized dollars driving hose around, that's for sure.
Ching.
Hulk Hogan is actually in this game as well. He
Apparently,
plays.
our contestant is quite the hero back in Stillwater. Have you ever been to Stillwater, Bobby?
I did, and it wasn't a good trip. My car got covered in sewage.
Really? What did you do to piss off the driver?
I didn't do a damn thing. I just wish I hadn't rented a convertible.
Wait, you were in the car when this happened?
Back to the action. Our contestant is doing really well.
He plays Angel, the character Angel. So that was really kind of fun to have like a wrestling level in this game.
Great action.
This game for the Saints Row 3
Shot seems to hit something today.
really has everything.
This is really amazing shooting.
That's why I love it so much.
The Saints capo is having no trouble with this arena.
This arena, Rob Van Dam. It's so weird to like. I could never really.
Time since Professor Genki's has seen the caliber of shooting.
I could really never hear his voice until like now. It's like
Seems to hit something today.
This is turning into an exceptional match.
it's like oh yeah, I can hear the Rob Van Dam voice now. It's like I couldn't hear it before, but
And that's it. We have a winner.
yeah, I blew the goal away. So that's how I could easily exit. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna get out of here. I'm not gonna kill everything. I did what I was supposed to do. I'm gonna get out of here. Because handguns for me is just my bread and butter. I guess I could have, if people want this continue, I guess I should do other guns and what have you, but that's just the weapons I like using most. So it's just, it is what it is. Anyways, yeah, it's just, if anything, I just kind of hope that if people are just tired out with John Wick, maybe just want to move on. I think some people might have been interested in.
Surprised the syndicate is still standing after all this shit we've thrown at them.
I don't see a reason to stop.
Not saying we should.
All right. Didn't see you at the Broken Shillelagh.
I just beat a random person for some bizarre reason. I just wanted to see if I could do it because I'm like, yeah, I remember I could like beat random people for some bizarre reason. I just wanted to see if I could do it. It's just the mayhem ensues. But yeah, I think people might also be interested. I know it was kind of trending for a little bit for Saints Row, like Superman. Um, I'm sure that Saints Row probably the fourth. I kind of have done that through both Man of Steel and Christopher Reeves. So like, I had done like an episode each of both of those, but at the end of the day, like, I don't know if people really legitimately want like a full series of that. At the end of the day, I'm kind of interested in doing this series, and
This doesn't seem like your kind of place, Bears.
What's the hate? Beer's cheap, and I'm the best looking motherfucker in here.
Look, you may think it's time to kick back, but I'm done toying with these bastards. I want Loren, and I want him now. So where is he?
No idea. But 10K says he's hiding out in that big ass skyscraper.
Now, Loren's a tactician. He's not going to hole up in a building that screams, I'm a criminal mastermind. I need something concrete.
You hit up Powder.
I don't have time for a stripper.
No, Powder's a designer gun store downtown. I saw some of Loren's thugs talking to the owner. There's gotta be something there.
All right, let's go shopping.
all right. Here's where I'm gonna show you guys the formula of this character, because at the end of the day, somebody asked for it, so I decided like, here's the formula. Even though at the end of the day, it's just it just feels as generic as formula as any of the other Keanu Reeves characters that are out there. And at the end of the day, nobody else asked for like formulas of these characters. If anything, I legitimately would send people links to other things, because at the end of the day, let's move this over here so you guys can see the formula. And you can pause this at any time, based on how quickly I'm going through some of this stuff. But yeah. Really, at the end of the day, again, who knows if this series is legitimately going to continue, and maybe people might want alternative characters and whatever through the game. Maybe they want to continue this series, but maybe they want to see different characters. If people want Saints Row 4, I'd be happy to keep going with Saints Row 4. If anything, really, I was going to legitimately do Saints Row 4 Avengers Endgame kind of compilation of a bunch of characters through the series. I had started that and I never finished it for some bizarre reason. I just didn't finish it. So if people want me to do that, I'd be happy to do so. But I don't know. I just kind of I completely just lost interest. I just like, the interest was there maybe, but I don't know. It was just, I don't know. I could have done, probably I could have continued doing this. Could have kept continuing on doing what I was doing, but I don't know. I just found so many other things to just tie me up. So yeah. I love Saints Row. I love all the games, and in the same vein, it's just what I love to keep doing them. Of course, at the end of the day, if people don't like the hair of this character, I'm going to change it back to earlier on, what the hairstyle was earlier on, in the early episodes. But people want me to continue with this, then at the end of the day, again, if people want me alternate characters, if people want to see the Avengers Endgame thing, that's kind of, I should have probably done that earlier, but at the end of the day, that just, with all the other console things that I've ever done, with all the other console things that I've done at this point, stuff has just gone to the wayside. So yeah, it's just, it is what it is. Anyways, yeah, for some reason I really liked this hairstyle. It just kind of worked with what I was doing. I couldn't really find anything else that legitimately like worked good enough to really do what I was trying to do. So yeah, it ended up just I went back to the original hairstyle. You can kind of see some other hairstyles that I could have probably gone with. I was maybe even thinking about Teen Dream. This one, even though in like John Wick Chapter 3, John Wick's hair is really quite long. At the end of the day, there's nothing strong enough on here that looked kind of like how his hairstyle was in John Wick Chapter 3. So yeah, I just kind of had to go with this one because it kind of looked the closest to John Wick's hairstyle. But yeah. Hopefully, and I goofed there because for some bizarre reason I went white instead of black. But yeah, I have really just I've really enjoyed all the series of Saints Row that I've ever done. Like, if there was ever legitimately ever gonna be an actual legitimate like Saints Row 5 game,
Time to start a stunt run.
I would welcome that. But I guess at the end of the day, with how long it's taken for them to do a rebooted series, they might as well just like not call it Saints Row 5. They might as well like reboot or something like that and have like uh a blank slate title. Don't completely reboot the older games, just keep doing what you're doing. Um but I think kind of with Get Out of Hell and Agents of Mayhem, I think that really did kind of kill the series as like because really at the end of the day, what these people were doing weren't actually Saints Row games. So, like Get Out of the Hell, you could say that yeah, that was a Saints Row game, but it wasn't something that people liked or wanted or whatever. Because at the end of the day, Get Out of Hell was really just another like kind of ripoff of um, a lot of things that like people were doing at that time. Kind of going with the hell route or whatever. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, I've seen this times before. So yeah, it wasn't very unique. It was very interesting. It just kind of fell flat of what it was. But yeah. But anyways, it just kind of really seems like John Wick does have a very limited wardrobe of stuff that you can really put him in. Because throughout the movies, it only seems like he only has a certain kind of style for things. So, like at the end of the day, it's just kind of hard to um, really just want to go, okay, like I want to put John Wick in this. Because at the end of the day, like he only has a certain style for certain things. So you can only put him in certain outfits. Yeah. Like I know the one thing that I liked about like playing as like a character that doesn't have a certain style of uniform. Like say for example, I'm gonna keep going back to this for some bizarre reason. Fight Club's Brad Pitt, Tyler Durden. At the end of the day, that character throughout that one movie does go through
Shorty, everything's set.
Ready for our shopping trip?
Thought you might be.
What's that supposed to mean?
Just know how bad you want Lorraine.
Don't care how many guns they have. It'll be worth it.
Yeah, never thought about it like that.
This character does go through a several barrage of attires, outfits that eventually throughout the days ends up being very memorable. Even seemingly at some points, and I go through this part of the town because for reasons. Because this is a very interesting part of this town. Very X-rated and what have you. John Wick going to a club, let's just say. Yeah. very interesting and what have you. But at the end of the day, you couldn't go through and get into any of these things, which I try to do. If anything, I think when I played Saints Row 4, there were times where I could go into some of the side buildings that I'm like, wow, you can actually go into these actual side buildings? Like, man, and that kind of creates some interesting photo things because at the end of the day, I didn't think you could actually legitimately go inside the buildings. And I could. And it just kind of was like, man, that kind of blew my mind. And I was like, wow, this is kind of an interesting aspect of the game because I just thought that the buildings were just there to just be there and you couldn't do anything with them. But evidently in Saints Row 4, I was wrong. I was happy to be wrong. Whoa! Okay, maybe the last statement about me being very good on an American motorcycle through this part of it might ring untrue. But at the end of the day, yeah, this was probably a very late nightish of recording. And yeah, I think for this, I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm just gonna kind of get through some of this stuff. So yeah, that's what it ended up being. I ended up doing a little bit of skipping to just kind of like okay, this is just me driving through this thing. So yeah, I'm gonna skip this part, get a little bit close to the building, and at the end of the day, yeah, that's what this ends up being. Really, at the end of the day, this ends up being driving through the cities, through the city streets, getting all up in my business. But yeah, let's get to more story. Hopefully. Enjoyably.
A lot of people with guns in there. We'll go in the back way.
You don't think the back's guarded? It's like two punks. What about the inside, motherfucker?
Motherfucker!
Put in your tampons and let's do this.
Oh, we just got hosed, boy. Just got hosed. God, Shawnee has a bigger wang than I do. She does. It's freaking huge. She has a bigger wang than I do. Why am I barehanded? I should have guns.
You said two guys. Not my fault.
I'm being serious. This is my kind of plan.
Yeah. The main character likes everything to go wrong. So when things actually legitimately go right, it's just, I was hoping for stuff to go sideways. And yes, I do like the nut shots. I don't know why that car alarm has to go off.
Let's get inside.
Yeah, so we can get rid of that alarm.
They have snipers in here. Make me kill you.
I'm gonna kill some people. That's what I'm gonna do.
Whoever's in charge here probably knows where to find Loren.
Let's head to the office and see if they're hiding under their desk.
I'm gonna go in here and Holly Berry kill some people. That's what I'm gonna do. I don't know what all you other guys are doing, but I'm gonna bring in some frogs and come in here and kill some people with them. I'm gonna bring in here a bushel of frogs. And we're just gonna go to town. Man, I was gonna get some Joe Cola. Frickin' people are coming after me because I want some Joe Cola. I want some Joe Cola. I didn't want anything else. And a giant freakish goon that has it. You're talking about snipers, but what about the hulkish man that has the giant gun? Anybody concerned about him? Pierce is bleeding all over the place. No one cares about that. Grenada, anyone? Yeah.
Keep it up.
Oh, can I get the big gun? Can I get the big fat gun? Say like, I hate. The one thing I hate about the minigun is it makes you walk so slow, but man, is it just like I can kill a lot of people with it. So it's just a trade-off. Kill some people, but walk slow. You get to really like demolish some people, but at the end of the day, we're walking ridiculously slow. And it makes for a slower time doing a level. I apologize, but it just looks cool. It just does. If only I could have a minigun on me at all times. Maybe on a helicopter. Recreating the Matrix scene. Oh. 'Cause if only I could just have some guns. I need some guns. A lot of guns. A delicious amount of guns. Hey, somebody's sleeping on the job. I'm not seeing any blood, so they're sleeping. If I don't see blood, they're sleeping on the job. Must have really thick, bulletproof, like, skin. They're just sleeping on the job because they're tired. I don't kill people, I make people go to sleep. That's what happens when there's no blood on the floor. When I kill people and there's no blood on the floor, they sleep. They're just so tired from taking so much damage, they just sleep. Because I think even when I was, like, a foot away and I was shooting them, no blood. Saints can't lose. Well, really, when you're walking so slow, it makes people think that you probably could lose your life, new civilizations. Hey, buddy. How's it going? What? Kind of hard to turn when you have a heavy gun. It's a little hard to turn. You gotta slowly turn. Doesn't make you a fast killer. It's like killing a bunch of people with a power drill. It just seems very absurd. Kind of like in a movie that I talked about fairly recently. In less than an hour ago. But yeah,
We're not giving them a choice. I'm going for another call.
If anything, hopefully more movie reviews coming in the future. Interesting movie reviews coming in the future. Coming out of the gate. You know what I'm saying? Just coming on down. So yeah, I hope we have more movie things to say in the future. More movie things. Alright, we finally reached the summit. It only took 12 years. Man, if I would've...
I'll get what I can off the computer.
If I would've had to live stream this, and, it would've took 12 years, I would have never slept. I would have just kept, like... 12 years of John Wick trying to go through this level. This level just takes years off your life.
I've still got it.
I wish I could be like, in that one Terminator game, where you're having, like, the machine gun, and you're just trotting around like it's nobody's business because you're the freaking Terminator. I wish that they would honestly make a joke like that in these games. Like, parody, like, have a throwback parody that you're like the Terminator, and yeah. And have somebody talk like really serious, like Spider Cop did for the Spider-Man video games. And then, like, because he's gonna be like, he's basically gonna be saying that he's like Spider Cop, and well, not literally, but it would be really fun if they.
We waited long enough. Now we go for Lorraine.
It won't be easy. That whole tower's got to be crawling with Morningstar.
Since when have we done things the easy way?
True. So what's the plan?
Kill everyone we see and find Lorraine.
Makes sense.
Maybe at the penthouse. I'll call Shawnee. Shawnee, it's time.
Just tell me where to be.
We're meeting at the penthouse.
I am gonna kill that son of a bitch.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
He won't get away this time.
You bet your ass he won't.
Or maybe he will, I don't know. He probably won't. But yeah, it would be really funny if they would have a character that basically knows that the character is pretty much nearly unstoppable, because at the end of the day, you have to play through the entire game and the character has to live. So wouldn't it be just kind of funny if, like, they actually, in-game, actually played on that fact that you have to live throughout this game because you're the main character. So really, at the end of the day, if this character could play off that he's basically an unstoppable force, it would be freaking hilarious. And how this character would really goof off on the fact that he's an unstoppable force. That would be fun to me. I would find that fun. But at the end of the day, for this one, who knows where this series will go. If you guys want me to continue it, I will. But at the end of the day, this might be where we finish off. At the end of the day, if people want me to do different characters, come back to this, I will probably do so. But at the end of the day, I don't know. If anything, really, this episode was just me doing some cleaning. Cleaning through the thing of just like, I gotta put this out there. It's been sitting on my channel for way too long. So, if anything, I'm going to get out of here. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.